So we're working with this agency called Orange Valley. They're an agency which focuses mostly on optimizing web pages. They also do our search campaign, advertising, and organically. So they implemented our analytics. So they're our main agent which focuses on our web analytics. And with them, we first we had our own paid Hotjar account, but then GPI decided to get a paid Hotjar account for all the NROs, I think. So we were pretty happy with that. And then together with Orange Valley, we implemented heat maps, polls, and surveys. We all use them to form hypotheses for our testings. We have, up until now, we have, I think, 7 either finished or running tests. So we use the heat maps to obviously to see where people go with their mouses, and we use the heat maps to form hypotheses on and to check the hypothesis that we made on the testings. We have this test in which we added an FAQ on what happens with people, their money, when they donate. With the polls and the surveys we did, we found out that people don't know where their money is going whenever they donate to Greenpeace. So one of the big hurdles was that they felt like they were paying salaries and not paying for the actions we actually did. So one of the tests we are now we have implemented and are now analyzing results about is this FAQ. You see, it's in Dutch, but it's most commonly asked questions about donations.
Where is that? Can you show with the mouse on the? Okay.
Yeah. So it's this part.
Mm-hmm.
And we implemented that, and you can. I don't know you can click on the thingy and the thingy and information about the question. Yeah, on the block, and information about 4 questions will pop up. So we have what does Greenpeace do with my money?
Mm-hmm.
How much of every euro is spent on protecting the climate and nature?
Mm-hmm.
Can I also wire money? Like people were asking for our bank account number, so they could wire money out of their like without using Ideal or. And the last question is, can I also make a yearly donation? This is an A/B test on the privacy statement, because we have the privacy statement. First, we had the privacy statement at the first part of our form, in which we only asked the amount of people. The form has like 3 steps, right? First, you choose an amount, then you fill in your data, and in the last part, you finalize it.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this privacy statement already in the first part of the form, but we don't ask for potential privacy information in that part of the form. Mm-hmm. So we formed this hypothesis that if we take away the privacy statement in the first part of the form and put it in the second part, where it's which is by law is correct, because then we ask for the data, that people would go to the second step more, like percentage. Mm-hmm. And we did an analysis of the streams through the pages. We have a control group.
And what was your main findings from this test?
Yeah, so the main findings were that indeed the privacy statement, putting it in a second phase and not in the first phase, did indeed take care of more people going to the second phase. And so we did see an uplift in conversions for donations. Yeah.
Okay.
And
then you change the order of the form and you keep it like that, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so first we form an hypothesis, then we test on Google Optimize 50-50. And whenever the test is, oh wait, I can show you another thing I can show you. Oh, is we have a dashboard, which is made by Orange Valley, our agent. So we can see the results of the tests real time. I can.
Okay.
But to get back to your point, it's what was the question again? The last question, sorry.
If you change the order after you had the taste, and you said that
so we found, so we have a few, it's hard to, we have two factors which have to be okay, I would say, before we implement the results of the test. One is, it has to have obviously a positive impact on the conversion ratio, which is this is test one, or wait, let me get test two. This is a test of the privacy statement.
Yeah.
It had a 12% impact on the conversion ratio, and the Bayesian chance, it's a statistical number which we have to get to before we implement the results of the test. So this is the dashboard. One of the main action pages which is now online is the petition for single-use plastics.
Yes.
And we've used the Heatmaps to check where people hover and to see if we can get another test set up. And one of the tests which came like more or less out of the Heatmaps was, let me get to the test. It was test number 3 on petitions, which was we saw people hover on the on these blocks, which are the blocks where people have to add their name, email address. And we formed this hypothesis that if we show which fields are mandatory to fill in and which are not, like phone number is not mandatory, like name and email are mandatory, but phone number is not mandatory. And we formed this hypothesis that if we show to people that phone number is not mandatory, like optional, when you hover over it, that it would impact the conversion ratio in a positive way. Well, you see the color of these blocks.
So wait a second, so I am sure I understand the hypothesis. So you have some mandatory fields, like
we have two mandatory fields.
The name and the email, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then you also added a third one with the phone, which was not mandatory but optional.
Well, we didn't. So the field is always there. So we didn't add the field. We added a way that people could see that phone number was not mandatory but optional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So usually, before this test, it was like in the test we made like when you hover over it with the mouse, that it said this was optional instead of like what before it didn't show it was optional.
Okay.
And our hypothesis was that
if you are going to show that the phone number field is optional, the conversion rate to sign the petition will be higher. Exactly.
That was our hypothesis.
Okay.
And we tested that.
And the data didn't show that.
No, unfortunately, it didn't show up in the conversion ratio. Actually, it even turned out lower. So we didn't implement this test.
Okay,
so as
that makes total sense.
Yeah, so as you can see, first hypotheses set up, which have their base in either a heat map or a survey or a poll. We make those hypotheses. We Google optimize test 50-50, or depending, there can also be an ABCD test. Then it's 25-25-25, of course. And then we implement the most successful of the 4 options, or the most successful of the 2 options whenever it's 50. So we started with exit surveys, visitor purpose surveys, and buyer surveys. Yeah, okay. So an exit survey was done on the donate page and the action pages to check why people were either leaving the page or felt not able to donate. So the question which was done, I'm most familiar with the donate test, yeah. So I'll walk you through the donate. I can probably also walk. The donate ones, the question for the exit survey was, is there something that's keeping you from doing a donation? So the answer is either no or yes, because. And let me just translate one answer for you, which was one of the answers which was most common. So yes, because I can't see how my donated money would be spent. For example, are you going to do actions with this, or is this going to use to build a project for planting trees? So this input formed our hypothesis for doing the test with the Q&A, and the heat map is indeed to check if the Q&A is indeed read, checked, etc. Yeah, so that gets me to the next point of probably showing you the results of the Q&A so far. So that's test number 7. Veel gestelde vragen. It's frequently asked questions. And so far, this test is one of the better working tests. Wow. Yeah. I kind of like this test so far. And it has a huge impact on our conversion ratio. And let me just show you the outlook or the layout of the test. So we have this control, the control layout. This is the layout which we had all the time, like regular layout. And then we have this the B variant, which is the most frequently asked questions. And so you can see we have 2,500 sessions on the control variant, and like a bit under 3,000 sessions on the B variant, and the conversion percentage is pretty much higher, and also the order value is also a lot higher on the variant. So, well, it all depends on the coming 2-3 weeks, because usually tests on the donation pages take a bit longer because of the lesser amount of conversions comparing to the action pages. Yep. But if this continues, I would be pretty happy, of course, to implement this. So the buyer survey for the donation pages is, the question was, what's the main reason to donate at Greenpeace? So this buyer survey is only shown when someone gets to the thank you page after making a donation. And this.
So after they make a donation, the survey, the poll pops up?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And we use this information form hypotheses, but also to check which are important topics for people as to why they donate.
Okay.
Oh, an interesting point. During the Australian fires,
Yeah.
the bushfires,
Yeah.
we had a lot of people saying on our Hotjar surveys, we want to donate for the Australian bushfires.
Wow.
So that was one of the reasons why we made a separate donation page for the Australian bushfires. So to cater to that question by people. So we use the Hotjar surveys for these kind of tests, but also to see what kind of subjects are important to our potential donors as well. We have this exit survey on the action pages as well, and it's kind of the same. Is there something that's keeping you from signing a petition, or is there something that's keeping you from no, the main question is there something that's keeping you from signing a petition? And an answer which we really got a lot was yes, because I don't want to give my phone number. So then we get back to
the heat map.
Yeah,
but when you tested the heat map, if the field would be optional, you didn't got more sign-ups.
No, that's the weird part, because we saw that so much. I don't want to give my phone number. That was one of the reasons for setting up this hypothesis. So we really expected an uplift in this one. Let me see. Or I think I already showed you, but I'm gonna show you again anyway.
So it was -5 or something.
Yeah, -5. Yeah.
Almost 6, -6.
Yeah.
So in the end, did you change the format? What is now like the field with the phone number? Is it mandatory or optional?
Optional.
Optional.
Yeah. Because the test was negative, it's now optional. Yeah. Let me see. So we have
going back to the poll.
Yeah, we have exit surveys, and we also have a buyer survey on the petition. Let me check on that one. Or the petitions, the action page, I mean, which is most of the time a petition.
What is a buyer survey? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, a buyer survey is mostly what is the reason that you bought. Like, it's called a buyer survey because it's usually on commercial websites which sell either shoes or whatever.
Okay.
So a buyer survey in this instance, it's on the thank you page of the petition, and it says what was the main reason for signing this petition.
Okay. So for somehow making the acquisition.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why.
Which is not an acquisition with money, but with signature. No. But
yeah, no, that's true.
Okay.
So we have this new product, which we've introduced because of COVID. It's called GreenStream, and we offer people a chance to subscribe and get daily content from Greenpeace on 3 different subjects. So we have education, university, and green flicks, which are all made up names. And people can subscribe on the different, and GreenStream is like the, how would you say it, the overarching name of the. We have ads on Facebook, and we've sent an email to our supporters that people can subscribe for this. And I'm going to show you just what happens then. Now everybody knows my personal email, so I'm going to put up a fake number. Thank you. And I'm going to subscribe. And what we've done now is set up a test with an ABCD variant. So what we previously did is only give people the option to share this on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And because donations are running behind, mostly because of COVID in this month, we've set up this test. So we have 4 options: the control variant, share on WhatsApp, option A, variant A, donate now, which goes to the donation page.
Okay.
Variant B, share on WhatsApp with a second call to action, donate now, and variant C, donate now with a second call to action.
Okay.
And we don't have enough sessions, conversions, etc. yet to say anything about this, because we've only just had it up for like a day, not even probably.
Okay.
But these results are gonna determine whether or not we're gonna use the donate or share with WhatsApp button or one of the other variants in the later stages. Another one, another recent test is this one, which is on the home page. And this is not the homepage anymore because we changed, we did a homepage takeover on the green stream action because that's our main focus right now.
Okay.
And this was the homepage during a petition phase, which we led people to this petition page. And the call to action, read more.
Okay.
It's lees meer in Dutch. And Orange Valley has this hypothesis that that's not clear enough for people, or that doesn't invoke enough action. So now we are implementing a test in which we are gonna get a more clear call to action on the button, which is gonna say subscribe for free for Greenstream. So we're gonna use we're gonna nudge people to subscribe because it's gonna be free. It is free. So the fact that this heat map shows that a lot of people click on the call to action, told us that we can improve quite a lot there probably. So that's the reason for this most recent test. And we just implemented that test, I think, yesterday as well. So we have this variant which has a call to action, apply now, and the control is subscribe for free. And we only have 50 sessions, so I can't share enough results.
So to wrap up, the process you are going through, it's like you probably first you have a poll. If you have a poll and you find out something, then you create a hypothesis.
Yes.
And then you create some variants, which you will test with the heat maps.
Yeah, I think that would be that's a good wrap up. And we use Google Optimize to divide the use tests of the different pages, and then if both the impact on the conversion ratio is positive and the Bayesian chance is positive or high enough, I think we need 85%. Then we will implement it.
Okay.
If we have enough data.
Yeah.
So that's probably the wrap up. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Look forward to seeing myself on YouTube.